The newest arena in all of Division I sports is right in your backyard. And to be inside, you don't have to break the bank. With tickets starting as low as $12, you can see St. Thomas basketballs and hockeys in the brand new $183 million multi-purpose on-campus Lee and Penny Anderson Arena for prices straight out of 20 years ago. Proud past and pricing, bright future, and national postseason eligibility for the Tommies. The stakes are high, the setting is state-of-the-art. Get your tickets today at TommySports.com.
Hey, Garage Logic fans, Mishke here, slipping in ever so briefly to mention that I have a podcast that comes out every Wednesday and every Friday, twice a week now. The show is pretty much about everything you care about and are interested in and need in your life and want to know more about. I tailored the darn thing specifically to your liking. I tailored it to your loves, to your true passions. That took a long time. I'm spent. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely wasted.
This is the Weekly Scramble, a place where we chat about life over a cold one or two. It's time to belly up to the pod with Mike Fratelloni and your host, Chris Reavers.
That's right. It's time for the Weekly Scramble podcast. My name is Chris Reavers. With me, as always, his name is Mike Fratelloni. Hello, Michael.
How you doing, Reavers?
I'm doing okay. You know, we're almost to the weekend, so that's always good.
And Vikings game tonight.
Big Vikings tilt
Big
tonight.
Vikings game.
I'm not very optimistic about it.
Or
by the way.
3.5 point underdogs, right?
Yeah, but it's one of those things where I was telling my son this morning. It's one of those things where the NFL is all about matchups. I mean, you've got the four teams that are clearly better than everybody else, the four teams that are the absolute bottom feeders, and then there's everybody else in the middle, right? And I just really don't like this match. Again, I'm always cheering for the purple.
Sure.
I just don't like this matchup,
Well,
especially
we don't
being on the
really
road.
have much of a quarterback.
That's the other issue.
Why wouldn't you just kind of say, JJ, good luck, give it a shot?
Well, because he's probably not healthy as Mike.
What Brosmer?
Brosmer.
Why don't you just Brosmer can throw the ball?
I thought he was going to get put in on Sunday, to be perfectly honest.
Why wouldn't you? Just give him a shot.
Give him a shot.
Right? He can throw the ball. I've seen him throw the ball.
I was impressed.
Yeah.
So as long as we're on the subject of sports, I have got to start the show with this story because when I saw it this morning, I had the same reaction that I did years ago when it was basically unveiled that the world of sports and the world of gambling were going to collide. And I went, this is not a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Former NBA players and currently the Portland Trailblazers head coach Chauncey Billups and also Damon Jones were arrested and charged with conspiracy to commit both wire fraud and money laundering after allegedly participating in rigged poker games. Billups and Jones were allegedly dubbed as face cards, which, the indictment says, were members of the cheating teams and received a portion of the criminal proceeds in exchange for their participation in the scheme. The scheme resulted in the victims losing at least $7.15 million dating all the way back to April of 2019, according to the Department of Justice. Billups and Jones, in particular, were utilized to attract victims to the games because of their status as former professional athletes, the DOJ said. They also added that in April of 2019, Billups was one of the 5 defendants who organized and participated in rigged poker games in Las Vegas, using a rigged shuffling machine with the victims losing at least $50,000. One of the defendants texted another co-conspirator that Billups should purposefully lose a hand to avoid cheating suspicions. During that game, a defendant said that one of the victims had acted like he wanted Chauncey to have his money because he was starstruck by Billups, according to officials. In October of 2020, Billups was allegedly wired $50,000 following a rigged poker game. Before one game, Jones allegedly asked for a $10,000 advance and said that he needed action bad, and he was given $2,500. In response to being coached on how to cheat, Jones replied, LOL, man, y'all call D. Jones in because y'all know I know what I'm doing, according to the DOJ. We are in the process of reviewing the federal indictments announced today. Terry Rozier and Chauncey Billups are being placed on immediate leave from their teams, and we will continue to cooperate with the relevant authorities. We take these allegations with the utmost seriousness, and the integrity of our game remains a top priority, the NBA said in a statement. Okay, I'm trying hard. I'm trying really, really hard here. Billups' career earnings as a player alone.
Okay, let me guess. How many years did Billups play?
Well, he was a rookie in what, 04-ish? Because he was with the Wolves shortly after that. Because he was a big-time prospect coming out of college.
$71 million.
Billups' career earnings exceeded $100 million as a player, while Jones made at least $20 million himself. It is not clear how Billups and Jones became friendly with the other defendants, many of whom are part of 3 separate Italian-American crime families. Jones, a former NBA coach, is also a suspect in the sports gambling case in which Terry Rozier was also arrested Thursday, meaning yesterday. Over 30 people were arrested for their alleged roles in both schemes. I can't tell you how much I laugh when I see a story like this for so many reasons. Number one, you guys, and I'm talking about Billups specifically, he had a really good career.
Sure.
He was a really good point guard. He won a championship, I believe, with Detroit after he was here with the Timberwolves. He had a really good career. He transitioned that into what was probably going to become a very successful coaching career. That's all going to be gone now.
Yeah, he might, and he might be going to jail.
And not only, and I just don't understand why so many guys, and I think what it is, Mike, so many guys are willing to just basically toss it all away for that quick rush and that $50,000 to a guy like Chauncey Billups.
Chauncey's making $4.7 million right now as a coach.
I actually thought it would be higher than that.
Yeah,
okay.
You know, but still $4.7
That's still
million.
A lot of money. Yeah,
you don't. Here, this is the iceberg, Reavers. All we're seeing is the top of the sticking out the water. Because you know what you don't do if you're making $4.7 million and made another $100 million in the background? You don't do anything that would get you arrested and lose everything for $50,000. And even you said like the games where people lost $7 million over the last 5 years, that's nothing. Right? I mean, $7 million is a lot of money, but over the last 5 years, that's $1.5 million a year, or whatever the math is. That's what people lost. But how much of that was Chauncey getting?
Right.
Even if you got all of it, it wouldn't be worth it. Right? You're making $5 million a year, or $4.75 million a year. I don't get this. I think this is going to be way, way, way bigger than we think.
So I don't know how much you've monitored things like this on social media, but the clips of this Rozier kid, who, by the way, was a highly decorated collegiate player. I don't really know what kind of an NBA career he's had. I don't follow. I watch the Timberwolves games with my sons, but other than that, I don't really follow the NBA as closely as I once did. But there's clips that started surfacing of him like trying to make a pass.
Sure.
And he'd deliberately throw it to the other team.
Yeah.
It's just the thing
He's not even a good actor.
Once the integrity of your sport is compromised, your league can't be taken seriously anymore.
No.
And this is why I said this when it happened. I said, this is a horrible idea. And especially consider, okay, NBA guys can have nice long careers. NFL guys, your shelf life is what, 3.5 years?
On
That's
average,
on average is a 3-year career. Well, most of those guys with those short windows, they ain't making that kind of money.
No, but they're still making bucks, right? They're still making good money. But how much can you possibly win on a game? You know, and how much can you possibly
there's a max to prop bets and all that stuff.
Yeah,
for
and
sure.
how much can you possibly control as a single player on a football team? If you're the quarterback, throw one more interception and the game's over, right?
Yeah.
I see you can do that. But if you're a lineman, I guess you can do some stuff, right? But so I love how in that article they said Italian American families. You mean the mafia is what they were talking about. It's the Bonanno, Gambino, Lucchese, and Genovese crime families.
Was the Gambino family also in The Sopranos?
It seems kind of like that. They seem, all of those names, Bonanno and Gambino and Genovese, they all seem fake. Right? And I have an Italian last name. And those all seem like, those were all in just movies.
Can I be part of the Fratelloni crime family?
I don't think we have one.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
I surely wouldn't do it for $50,000.
Well, there's a tweet I saw that I reposted that I thought sums up this, what I was trying to say so perfectly. Are you ready? The NBA is very concerned about the multiple arrests made as a result of the FBI's sports gambling code. Use code multiplayer arrest for a 30% profit boost on a 3-leg parlay with DraftKings, the official gambling partner of the NBA.
Oh my God, yeah.
I love stuff like
I'm
that.
not a big fan of gambling. I just don't.
I'm not either.
Name somebody who's improved their life by gambling a lot, or drinking a lot, or smoking weed a lot.
Yeah, I get it. And again, do I play the Powerball on occasion? Of course. Will I buy a couple of scratch offs so that we can, we can have fun? Of course. But I don't even know the last time I spent a dime on gambling.
Okay, let me tell you a little story.
Go ahead.
Went into my local Quick Trip.
Sure.
Actually, it wasn't a Quick Trip. I'll say Holiday because Quick Trip isn't. Are they advertising with us now?
Not
Or
with
it's
us,
Holiday?
but what they do with Score North.
Oh, they do. With
But
Quick Trip does. Okay,
Yeah, I
then
do
Quick
love
Trip.
Quick
We'll
Trip.
call it a Quick Trip.
Yeah,
I don't know.
in fact,
Whatever.
I was at one yesterday.
I was actually at a Holiday. I'm sorry,
That's
but it was
okay.
right by my office, and I went in and bought a Powerball, a Mega Millions because they're both big numbers,
Right.
and a donut. And she says $8.19, and I'm like, okay. So I pull out some ones. I'm like. Then I got thinking, I'm like, $8.19, like Powerball's $2, Mega Millions $2, and my donut could only be a couple bucks, whatever it was. Powerball is now $5 per ticket.
Is it really?
Yes.
I
And
thought
for
it was
so-
2.
I think it was, and I think October 1st it changed to 5.
Oh, I did not know that.
And I'm going to tell you, Reavers, the delta between $2 and $5 made me say, what a complete waste. Like my mind said,
Because $2 is nothing.
$2 is kind of nothing.
Yeah.
Right? It's a Diet Coke. But for some reason, when I went to $5, that seems like, okay, that's one of those meals at McDonald's that you can get for $5, which has 4 chicken nuggets, a quarter pounder, some fries, and a drink, right? It's
Right.
a $5 meal deal.
Right.
And I thought, okay, that's it. Now I'm done. And they said, more people are going to win smaller prizes with the $5 Powerball.
Sure.
And I thought that was really, really strange. I think the value of a Powerball ticket or a lottery ticket at $2, you got $2 worth of entertainment out of it. At $5, I definitely did not.
I got to tell you, I was driving to Sioux Falls. This has got to be over a month ago. Yeah, it was. Well, yeah, it was Labor Day weekend.
That's where you hit like 4 states in 3 nights or something.
Something like that. Yeah. So, and we were driving out to Sioux Falls. And I will never forget this. We had to stop because the little guy had to go pee. And I go, all right, let's.
You call it the little guy? That's a weird name for you. No, your children.
my
Oh my
son,
God.
my youngest
I was like,
son.
what a weird, because if you're talking to a girl and say, hey, the little guy needs to see you, I don't think that would be terribly
I said,
good.
all right, wait, there's a gas station, up ahead. So let's pull off here. And we're in a small, I'm not going to name the town. We're in a small town. And I said, all right, boys, go pick out something to drink. And then we'll get back on the road. And there's a guy in front of me. I'm going to guess he's probably in his late 50s or early 60s. And he spent $200 on Powerball tickets. And this was when the jackpot was massive, right?
Sure.
But I'm thinking, you just need one ticket. You don't.
Yeah,
your
it's-
chance. I'm going to buy one, and you're going to spend $200. So that was $2 at the
Sure.
time. So you bought 100 Powerball tickets. My chances of winning are the exact same as yours.
Not quite the exact same, but yours
okay.
is 1 in a trillion. His is 100 in a trillion. Not great.
But still, I
Yeah.
just thought.
So it wasn't Powerball that moved up. It was Mega Millions. So
Oh,
it was
okay.
the other one. So
Okay.
what, right?
Okay.
But the price, I've purchased Powerball tickets since April 8th of 2025 because that's when it changed in price.
Okay.
But I just must have never noticed that it went to $5. So I'm going to tell you, I'll never buy another Mega Millions ticket at $5. I'll never do it.
Sure.
But I will buy now Powerball. I'll double down on my Powerballs.
There you go.
That's exactly it. So yeah,
I just.
weird.
Yeah, I don't get it. And the thing is with the athletes, Mike, the thing is, as this type of thing gets more sophisticated with technology and everything else, and I know the FBI has got technology upon technology to try to capture these things. These are just the guys that got caught.
Yeah, it's the tip of the iceberg.
Because
And
there's so many other guys.
Why is the FBI dicking around with gambling? I hate the fact that they have to dick around with gambling. They have to bust Chauncey Billups
Right.
for $50,000. Shouldn't they be going after Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who just came in on a child's visa into North Dakota? I mean, isn't that the guy we should be looking for?
Well, someone's got to pay for that new ballroom.
Oh, there you go.
I don't want to get into that
He
today.
already paid for it. He took his money.
You should call Joe and tell him that.
2017, Powerball tickets went from $1 to $2, and then in
What year? You
2025,
said 2017?
yeah, then in
Okay.
2025 it went from $2 to $5. That's called Bidenflation.
Let's talk about We Are Nuts and WeAreNutsMN.com. Here's the thing, everyone. If you are in charge of your corporate holiday gifting this year, then listen up. Don't be the person that sends another branded coffee mug. Be the hero who sends toffee peanuts. I'm talking about We Are Nuts MN. It's locally roasted, family owned, and dangerously good. Their corporate gift tins are fresh, festive, and also unforgettable. Whether you're thanking clients, rewarding employees, or just spreading holiday cheer, they've got you covered. Here's how easy this is.
I'm doing it as you read this.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm 100% am.
You visit wearenutsmn.com. You download the corporate gifting catalog. It's right there on the homepage. Mike is looking at it right now. You pick out your tins. The cashews, the mixed nuts, the chocolate almonds, the hokey pokey popcorn, even the famous 4. You send them your gift list. And then they're going to pack, personalize, and ship each tin, even with custom enclosure cards featuring your company's logo and also your personal message. It's a no-brainer. There's no endless forms. There's no box taping marathons. You call, you email, or you can just visit the site, and they handle everything else. So if you want to get these ordered by Christmas, you got to place your order by November 14th. I know it's tough to think about the holidays right now, but get ahead of the game. So again, visit wearenutsmn.com or call them directly at 612-781-6596. We Are Nuts. Fresh, local, and unforgettable.
The famous 4 are 4 top toffee nuts, maple bourbon toffee almonds, cinnamon toffee peanuts, hot nuts, and our original toffee peanuts. $50 basically for this 4-pound tin. It's this huge tin that you'd send to somebody.
Yeah.
That is a gift.
It absolutely is a gift.
That is a gift. They really make it easy. I thought it was going to be hard for me because I'm not terribly bright. I can do it. So every one of our listeners can do it.
100%.
Because I did it. Hey, good for you, We Are Nuts.
Once again, wearenutsmn.com, the Weekly Scramble. We will be right back. So I saw this quote yesterday, and I instantly thought of the show, meaning me and you.
Sure.
You ready? You're familiar with NFL quarterback Joe Flacco.
Heard of him, yes.
So Joe is, I believe, 41 years old. In fact, he just played Aaron Rodgers a week ago tonight because Joe got traded to the Bengals. And it was the oldest quarterback combination, one of the oldest quarterback combinations in NFL history.
18-year veteran, born 1985, 40 years old. Yep.
So 40, and then, or maybe he was 40 and Aaron Rodgers is 41. One or the other, I can't remember. They called it the Icy Hot Bowl.
Oh, I see what they did there.
The Ice Bowl,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
So I love this so much. So Joe Flacco, as being a starting quarterback, you have your media session every week. You know, it's kind of weird. Every team has, like, the head coach has a specific day he's got to talk, and then the quarterback usually has a day where he's got to talk, and then sometimes the teams make other personnel available.
Sure.
Some don't or whatever. But he had a quote. This was so great. So Joe Flacco had this to say about what his life has been like without his family around. He added that they will be in town for this weekend's game against the Jets. So for those of you that don't know, Joe had signed with Cleveland this past off season, where he played a couple of years ago, and then Cleveland's season is going south very, very quickly. So they traded him to the Cincinnati Bengals, and so he's kind of just been, because when you're an NFL player, you're in meetings all the time and you got to practice all the time. So he said, just stay here, I'll come, whatever. And so he's been by himself, basically living in a condo, I'm sure, whatever. And
does he want to do like a massage? Doesn't he want a massage because he's so lonely?
I don't think that's his
$10
deal.
That's what it is. But go ahead.
So he says, for me, it's trying to find ways to maybe stay here a little bit longer than just take myself out of that mindset and call home. Flacco said, go sit at a restaurant by myself and realize that, man, that's pretty enjoyable to do. He says, I tell people all the time, I love this so much. I tell people all the time, when I was younger, I used to see guys sitting at a bar by themselves or just sitting by themselves eating. And I'm like, man,
poor guy.
I feel so bad for that guy. You always want to go join him. And now I realize, boy, that dude was in heaven.
Yeah.
And not to say that's not what I want. I'd rather be at home sitting at the dinner table with my kids and hearing what the hell they were talking about that day. But if you have to do it, you may as well take advantage of it. Yeah. I freaking love that quote. And
there is something to that, right?
Well, have we talked about this? So years ago, this is, I probably once I started to have kids, it became almost impossible for you to go out anymore, like as a couple, right? Because someone had to stay home. Yeah. And if you couldn't find either grandma or the other grandma to
Wife
come
no
watch,
longer likes you, so
yeah,
she doesn't
she
want to go
stopped
anyways.
liking me
Yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
But it was just almost like I'll just go.
Sure.
You stay home, or why don't you just go? I'll stay home with the baby or whatever. And then that kind of morphed into I want to go to this football game, and I just ended up going by myself. And at first I thought it was okay, that's kind of weird, but I freaking love it.
Sure.
I've gone to shows by myself. I love it. I can leave whenever I want.
Yeah.
I can stay as long as I want. I can just do whatever.
You don't have to watch to make sure someone's not going to trip over a curb and say, honey, there's a curb.
Right.
Oh, I didn't see it.
Right.
Yeah, okay, it's right there.
But I love that because he's like, man, that dude's in heaven.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there eating his cheeseburger,
Just relax, watching the game.
watching the World Series or whatever
Yeah.
he's watching. And I just thought that's such a great.
Being an athlete would be kind of lonely, right? Because you're away from your family for a long time, especially when you start having small kids.
Sure.
And you're traveling all the time. Traveling gets tiring.
Yeah.
I'll give you a quick story about my ex-wife. So I was talking to her about my daughter and I when we went down to Alabama and Ole Miss.
Oh, right. Yes.
And she was on a plane, and I said,
I have an email about that. But
okay,
keep going.
I called her up, and she answered the phone on the plane, and I said, hey, I'm sorry, I'll call you back later. And she said, oh, no problem. I can talk now. I have a few minutes before takeoff. And then all of a sudden I heard like a kerfuffle in the background, and she said, I got to go. And she calls me back later on. She says, it was my 1,000,000 miles. Like she'd flown 1,000,000 miles, and they were doing a little thing on the plane saying, hey, thank you for being platinum or whatever, or diamond. And so she's like, it was so nice of them to do that. Little did they know that I absolutely hate flying. I hate having to leave home. I hate having to leave our girls. I mean, and it was just kind of a funny thing. Like, oh, that was so sweet, being kind, telling me that I hit my 1,000,000 mark, and all she wants to do is not have to be on a damn plane again. Right. And I thought, oh, that would suck. And if you're an athlete, if you're a baseball player and you're gone for 182 games a year or whatever the hell it is, that is a long damn time.
Yeah.
Right.
I have a good friend that's what he does. He travels for work, and it's not, oh, I'm going to Florida. No, I'm going to Spain, and I'm going to.
Yeah.
He works for a big time operation, and he says I feel bad because he and I are about the same age. He says I'll get home from being gone for 3 days, 4 days, and then my wife will want to travel. I go, oh my God.
Yeah,
I've just been in another country for the past 2 weeks. I want to sit on my deck in the backyard and just drink a beer and watch my kids play.
Well, all the time that I was married to my first wife, right? The whole time I was married to my first wife, she had a job where she traveled 50% of the time.
Sure.
At one point in time, we had a 3-month-old. Like, you have a 3-month-old and then you go back to work, right? So she had her time that she stayed with the 3-month-old, and a 25-month-old at that time. Okay. And she would travel for half the time. So I was a dad with a 3-month-old and a 25-month-old, and sure, there was daycare, right? I'd drop them off at daycare, and I would go to work, and daycare was a lifesaver. But she would get in from out of town, and I would high-five her, hand her the kids.
You're it.
And go away, right? Needless to say, that does not bode well for a marriage, right? It isn't right, because there was no time for... all I want to do is like, oh man, I just had the kids for 4 days straight by myself. I can do it, right? I'm an adult man. I can do it. Right. It was just not super easy on a life.
Sure.
So that was pretty funny. Joe, good for you, Joe, but get home with the kids. That's better. Life is better with the kids.
It is.
Not traveling.
And I've known a couple of guys that have played pro sports, and everyone's, I got to get up. I get it. Like, it's just, it's a night and day comparison. So I totally get that. But there is that part of, oh man, I'm away all the time.
Not sleeping in my bed.
Right.
Although you can steal all the toilet paper and all the toiletries you want.
Oh, that's a good point.
What are they going to do? What did you think? Did you see?
Can I? Really quick question before, or not quick question, but I know someone who does that, who travels a lot.
And just takes the toiletries.
Not only that, but then if they see the maid's cart, they'll kind of help themselves.
What?
Yeah.
No, that's just stealing. If it's in the room, it's yours.
Right. And I always thought, this is a very frugal person.
Sure.
And I thought, I remember wanting to say something at one point. I thought, what good is that going to do?
Yeah.
It's not my product. It's not taking money from me.
I have a good friend that I really, really like, and he takes the extra toilet paper, and he said, hey, the room was $300. I paid for that toilet paper.
That's my toilet paper.
So he takes like the extra roll and the current roll.
Okay.
And he's like, I take it. And he goes, I bring it up to my cabin, and that's our toilet paper at the cabin. and it kind of did make sense. He said, every time I go, at least I leave with something. I say, okay, it was some advantage to being in a hotel room for my 200th day a year.
Well, every white bathroom towel in my house is
good.
I'm just totally kidding.
Good.
I'm totally kidding. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
The player who tackled Aaron Rodgers after his 60-yard touchdown pass.
The lineman.
The lineman. How pissed would you be if you were the coaching staff and you just saw your 300-pound lineman
tackle your 41-year-old quarterback?
Your 41-year-old billion-dollar star.
Yeah.
If he would have gotten hurt, what would you have done to that lineman?
Over. Yeah.
Their season's over. And for Rodgers to get up and not completely lose, he lost his shit.
Oh, he did.
But he didn't lose his shit, where he said, get him off the team, right?
Well, because I'm guessing that he was smart enough to realize that, A, I'm going to need this guy.
Yes.
And B, he could pulverize me in about 2 seconds.
Yeah, but so what?
I got to tell you, though, I am not the world's biggest Aaron Rodgers fan. I giggled when I saw that happen.
Really? He just sliced us and diced us. I remember my brother-in-law, big Packers fan, and when we'd be down by 6 with a minute left and Aaron's marching down, I'd turn to my brother-in-law, shake his hand, congratulate him, and walk away because Aaron just knows how to play the 2-minute game. Yeah. He's unbelievable at it.
In my final year of living in Mankato, I was living in an apartment. We had one of those 4-bedroom apartments, and it was me and 3 other guys. And 2 of those guys were massive. Like still to this day, two of my really good friends from college, but were massive Packer fans. Yeah. And it got to the point where I could not watch the game with them.
Sure.
In fact, one of them was, remember the Chris Dishman game? Where he knocked the ball. It was a Monday night game. He knocked the ball down, and Favre just threw a hail jump ball, fourth down, and it looked like it hit the ground, but it kept bouncing around Antonio Freeman.
Sure.
And we all thought, all right, the game's over. And all of a sudden, he gets up and runs off, and I went, what just happened? And I went nuts.
Yeah.
And I went, I can't watch the Viking Packer game with you guys
I can't do it anymore. Yeah.
So that's why I would go to Jess's apartment. She was my girlfriend at the time. I would go to Jess's apartment. Like, I'm watching the game with a bunch of girls at her, but I can't watch the Viking Packer game with you guys. I can't do it anymore. So it was pretty funny. Let's talk about our friends at North American Banking Company. Is that what I'm doing today? Let me check. Let me just double check my old cheat sheet. No, I'm sorry. I misspoke. Let's talk about Masters Maples and mastersmaples.com. I promoted this earlier on Garage Logic. You can get Masters Maples products right now at all of your Fratelloni's hardware and garden stores locations. Is it flying off the shelf just like the We Are Nuts?
He came in for a tasting. We had one at our Minnetonka store the other day. We had the We Are Nuts guys, the Grandpa's Barbecue, and Ben from Masters Maple.
Sweet.
It was so cool. And they were all in the parking lot. It really worked out well. And we are selling a lot of it. I think this holiday season, it's really going to light up because it seems like a holiday thing for me.
Can I tell you right now, I'm going to play. I know he's got the 100% pure maple syrup. It's the absolute best that's going out there. But I got to tell you, so the other day, the boys wanted spaghetti. I love spaghetti.
Yeah, but that doesn't have anything to do with Masters Maple.
Au contraire. So I went and got ground beef.
Okay.
And Italian sausage.
Ooh.
Combined that. Brown that up. And I mean a big old hunk of it.
Yeah.
Savory seasoning from Masters Maples.
Okay.
On the Italian sausage combination with the ground beef. Holy Hannah. It was so good.
Really?
And my son said, I don't even want noodles. I just want to eat this as soup. I go, well, it's spaghetti.
You got to have the noodles.
You got to have noodles with the spaghetti. It was so good.
Really? Good for you.
So the, like I said, I don't know if it was 80% lean. I have no idea. But the seasonings that he makes are absolutely outstanding. And also the pure, 100% pure maple sugar for all the bakers in your life. But it's all there for you. If you can't get to a Fratelloni's hardware and garden stores, then get to mastersmaples.com and you can place your order online. It's wonderful stuff. And it's our buddy Ben, and he's the brains behind Masters Maples. And mastersmaples.com. Masters Maples, taste the difference. The Weekly Scramble. We will be right back. So because I'm an idiot, Mike, I was trying to find an email. I believe it was from Charlie, because you were talking about bringing your daughter down to Ole Miss and Alabama. That was last weekend?
Yep,
last weekend already. And he was asking about that very thing, because you said you flew into Memphis, rented a car, drove to Ole Miss.
To Oxford, Mississippi.
Oxford, Mississippi.
Ole Miss.
Okay.
Yep.
And then what did you say that was? About an hour and a half, 2 hours?
Yeah, hour and a half.
Okay. And then you did the drive from Oxford
a few hours, Oxford to Tuscaloosa, a few hours.
Okay.
And then back to Oxford.
It's almost a Reavers road trip.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of driving, and we had
Okay.
you know what we had too is a Chevy Traverse. Do you have that?
That's exactly what I drive.
Or is that the bigger one, or is the Equinox the smaller
The
one?
Traverse is the bigger one.
Okay, I think I had the smaller one. Is that the Equinox, same thing?
Yep.
What a nice car that was.
The Traverse, I'm not and this is I bought my Traverse. I don't advertise Chevy. It's the ultimate family machine. Like if you've got kids that play sports and if you go on road trips, hi, how are you? My name's
Sure.
Chris Reavers. It's the absolute perfect vehicle.
Yeah, it was absolutely great. I kept saying to my daughter, I really like this car. And she's like, why don't you buy one? And I'm like, I just may. Don't threaten me.
And the thing is, you don't need to pay. Chevy might not be happy with me saying this, but you don't need to pay for OnStar because the navigation from your iPhone is completely compatible with the screen and everything. I freaking love it.
Yeah, it has Apple CarPlay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I freaking.
What does a Traverse cost? What is an Equinox?
well,
the Equinox is the smaller one?
The Equinox is probably, it depends on how tricked out you get it.
Okay, this was kind of a rental car, basic.
I would guess you're probably going to spend 20, 25, 30.
There's no way that car. This was such a nice car. There's no way it was that inexpensive.
Well,
But it had didn't have power seats or anything like that.
But a Traverse is going to cost you 50. Between 40 and 50.
Okay, but a Chevy Equinox.
Yeah, I think, I don't know, 25, 30? I have no idea. In fact, I know Johnny just had a story about used car prices that are going.
2026 Chevy Equinox, kind of loaded, is $28,000.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
I thought, honest to God, I thought it would have been a $45,000 car. And I even said to her, like, oh, this is a really great car unless it's $60,000.
Yeah. No, I totally believe that. Yeah.
What a good deal. Good for you, Chevy.
Anyway, so just to get back to Charlie's email, he was just wondering on your general thoughts of Ole Miss. Like, is that you said you had kind things to say about it on Tuesday's show, but
I'm trying to convince my daughter to go to Ole Miss. The problem is she went to Alabama during the party SEC game with Tennessee. So she thinks Alabama's a party town, Tuscaloosa is a party town, which I think it is. And it's like frenetic and a ton of energy. And Ole Miss is like Old South and sweet, where people call you Miss Diane. And, it was just different. And my daughter Addie said, you're trying to convince me into Ole Miss. I said, I'm not. I just think this would be a better school for you. Yeah. Right? And
is she more of the laid back type?
Not really.
Okay.
She has like a little bit of power energy in her.
Okay.
Like we were driving around, got back from the game at like 11 o'clock to the hotel, right?
Yep.
And she said to me, I'm kind of hungry. I said, well, I don't give a shit. We're not going out. It's 11 o'clock.
Right.
Go to bed. But she was looking at me like, I'm wound up. Let's go grab something in this. We're in Columbus, Mississippi, or wherever we were at that point in time, because we had to be an hour out. And so she has the right personality for all day, all night.
Sure,
right? She's a work hard, play hard type of person. I tried to instill that into my kids. And then I went into her bedroom the other day and I said, remember when I say work hard, play hard? That also includes like doing your laundry,
cleaning your room,
or taking those. The reason why we saw a mouse the other day is maybe because you have 10 plates in your room with food on them, right?
Yeah.
Just, God, she's a skunky kid.
Okay.
Sorry.
We'll call this
lovely child.
We'll call this the listener email roundup portion of the program. If I could get my email
with the sounder, we have to develop some sounders.
Yeah.
Every time I come in here, Joe's button bar is up, right? I can see his button bar, and there's fart sounds and phone ringing sounds. We need some fart buttons.
You think so?
Are you kidding me? People love fart buttons.
I, for some reason, can't stop coughing, and now I'm losing my voice, which is really good for a podcast host.
Sounds good, though. It makes you sound older.
Jennifer, I don't know why this would have come up, but hey, Reavers, love the show. Tell Fratelloni that Dan Brown has a new book called Secret of Secrets that just came out about a month ago. I have it in my stack of stuff to read. I can't wait. His books sucked me in, and I get done in 2 days because I can't put them down. Why did Dan Brown come up?
Hold on a second. Hey, Siri, remind me in 20 minutes to read Dan Brown's Secret of Secrets. Is that what it's called?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, Siri. Because we were talking about Origins. We were talking about his book Origins that was written back in 2005 that I'm reading, where the whole concept was AI was going to take over the world.
That's
and Dan
right.
Brown was just 20 years early, and he was smack on.
Okay, then that also means, so this was also a different Charlie that emailed in. Come on, Reeves. Mike should be wearing a helmet whenever he leaves the hardware store. Can't believe how fast he gets into the tall grass when veering from retail hardware. There's this new thing called Google. Ask Mike to learn it. I'm guessing that's based upon the same conversation that we had with the Origins discussion.
I think so.
Okay.
There, one other thing though, someone had said in an email, because when I was talking about the budgets from Minnesota, and I said, it's a $16 billion budget, the biennium, so it's 32. It's $66 billion. I was off fairly large. I was like, I was off by 3x on the budget, or at least 2x, depending on how you read what I was saying.
Yeah.
So we were talking about the budgets and how our governor was responsible for a few $1 billion at least of fraud.
Yes.
And I was saying that was 10% of our budget. In reality, it's not. It's still a huge percentage. It's just much smaller than what I was saying.
And I really tried hard, based upon a couple of emails, to really stay out of politics this week. But this is just a reaction to another email that I just looked at about the spreadsheet from the No Kings protests and where some of these contributions came from. I was way low on my assessment of how much
dollars. How many was it?
It was over $250 million.
Sure.
And I thought, that's insane.
That's not grassroots.
No.
It is funny when Democrats, I shouldn't say the Democrats, when Democrats, because I consider myself right in the middle, when Democrats say it's grassroots, the moment they say that, it has nothing to do with it. Yeah. When Kamala Harris, when they said her campaign was completely grassroots, it's like, no, she didn't even have a damn campaign. They just said, you're running for president now because this guy's dead.
Yeah. I have a question about that. And this is just purely a business question. It has nothing to do with political sides and political affiliation. If you're Acme Tools and you decide to make a contribution to a No Kings protest, whatever that channel might lead, is that a tax deduction? Is that why they're doing that?
Well, it depends, because it's not a 501c3, hypothetically, right? Because you can't make, I can't make a tax deductible donation to a candidate. I can make it to a nonprofit, like a nonprofit that gives to the candidates, right? But I don't think you can give. I have a what do they call it? It's a DAF. It's a distributive fund where it's like a foundation that I have, right?
Okay.
And it's called a DAF, and I give from that DAF. So if you have a charity event, I can give to that charity event. It has to go to a 501c3, and it's no political parties can you give to.
Gotcha.
But if Act Blue, I could give to Act Blue through my DAF. And then they could give to political parties or run the No Kings protest. Again, the most successful protest in the history of the world, because still to this day, since they ran it, we have no kings.
Yeah, there was a great photo that said, well, just woke up, no kings.
No kings.
Way to go.
Well done.
Thank you for saving
that
all
was
of
a
us.
really, really powerful thing.
Yeah.
Did you? I was going to tell you this story, Reavers. Oh, crap. I was going to tell you the story about this girl that only eats plants.
Oh, yeah?
But you've probably never heard before. Get it? Probably never heard of her. But yeah,
Herbivore.
That was not a great pitch.
No, I love your
delivery.
I love your dad jokes.
It's something I really pride myself in. And then my wife says, "When do you get the time to write these?" And I said, "Do you think I don't write a joke? I steal them from the internet."
Please tell me that in your I would call it. With me, I'm a major league road tripper. Your minor league road trip.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's I'm not being
despairing.
No, not in any way. But it's like, okay, I could have done that today.
Sure.
Come on.
Yeah, that's nothing for you.
But please tell me you practice dad jokes on your soon to be 18-year-old daughter.
I do. I like to do that to her
because that's part of the job.
But you know what is the difference though? Is my kids are so involved with their cell phones that there's not even a moment where they're listening to me. So they'll look up and they'll say, well, what? Never heard of her before? What? They don't get it, right?
They just heard a buzzword.
They're just like, I don't know what you're talking, but I do throw in a 6-7 every once in a while.
Oh, boy.
Or I use the word riz. So if you don't know what the word riz is, it means you have like a little swagger to you. Right?
Isn't it short for charisma?
Yes, probably. And I'll say that, like, man, that guy has riz. And they look at me like I'm the biggest doofus in the world. And I love doing it to them. I was embarrassing my daughter all week that we were together when I'd go ask people about what school they think she should go to.
Yeah.
And she said, you can't just walk up to people. And I said, you want to bet?
Well,
Watch.
and I did this because this past Sunday, my niece had one of her final home tennis match. She plays tennis at the University of River Falls. And so I drove over because it was like one of those days where it kind of all aligned that I was able to go, and she was close to, because that's about as close as I can.
I think I met her, didn't I?
Oh, yeah, at the fair. Yes,
yeah,
you did.
yeah.
My niece Haley. And it's the greatest because now she's got all of her college buddies around.
Okay.
And I'll say, like I am that guy.
Sure.
And she'll say, Uncle Chris, please stop. And I said, what do you mean? I don't know what. And they said, oh my God, he's so funny. Like, no, don't encourage him.
Oh, that's
Stop
funny.
encouraging him.
Well, I remember when we
And
met
then I'll look
her,
at my brother, her dad, I'll go, I still got it.
Yeah, I still got it. And then she's like, in her journal, Uncle Chris is just so embarrassing, but I don't know how to tell him, right? Yeah, she's journaling that. But I met her and her friend
at the fair,
and you and I were done with the show.
Yep.
And I said, let's go get some drinks. And I slapped my hand and let's go. And then we all get in line to get drinks. And then it turns out like she's 18 or something. I was like, oh, I thought you were old enough to drink. She's like, no,
Diet
I'm
Coke
not.
for you.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, crap. Well, see you later, girls. Like I had no concept. I thought for sure she was 21.
Sure.
It didn't even dawn on me that she wasn't old enough to drink. Then I thought, well, that's no fun.
Well, because you had heard me say that they were here on their college. That's what their team did, is they all came to the fair together as like a bonding trip.
But you know what sucks?
What?
Hanging out with people who can't drink because they're not old enough. I'm like, I instantly thought to myself, girls, it was great. See you later.
Right.
Reavers, we're going to someplace.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks for coming. I had no idea you were still just children. We're out of here.
That's funny.
Sorry about that. Hey, Reavers, you are the best.
Thank you, Michael. Please do us a favor, rate and review the show wherever you happen to be listening to the Weekly Scramble podcast. It helps other people find the show. It helps us out as well, and we appreciate each and every single one of you. His name is Mike Fratelloni. My name is Chris Reavers. Thank you so very much for listening to the Weekly Scramble podcast. We'll talk to you again next time, and until then, cheers.